Hey everybody, welcome back. These were some brides and bridesmaids that had major beef. Am I the a-hole for refusing to allow my twin to be a bridesmaid at my wedding? Interesting. Order in the court. The Honorable Judge Charlotte presiding. You may be seated. I, 25 female, have a fraternal twin sister and I'm getting married next fall. We were really close growing up until high school. She was an outgoing, bubbly cheerleader and I was a shy, nerdy bookworm. So she ditched me for the popular kids. Right. She didn't actively pick on me, but she'd stand by with her head down and not do anything when they bullied me. Honestly, that's like even worse than being bullied. That had to be the worst part for me. It wasn't even necessarily being bullied, it was the fact that my friends never stood up for me.
What a bunch of bastards.
Made me feel super alone. And guess what? It probably would have stopped if they said something. Bullies pick on people who seem vulnerable and are unlikely to fight back. They're less likely to pick on people if they have people standing behind them, sticking up for them. So if you don't want to get involved when you see someone getting bullied because you feel like your reputation is at stake, that person is certainly not your friend. She would talk to and hang out with me at home as if nothing was wrong, but then when we were at school or at the mall where the kids at our school were likely to be seen, she didn't want to be seen with me. Okay then, I see where this is going. When we turned 16, she had a big bash, but I didn't have any friends. Aww. So didn't want to try and have a party. Our parents were making her include me, but she discreetly offered me $100 to pretend I was sick.
So I'm gonna pay you $100 to f*** off.
I took the money because I didn't want to go to a party where I'd at best be ignored or worse, be picked on. That's totally fair. We went to separate colleges across the country from each other. She tried to keep in touch, but I ignored her because I was really traumatized at losing my sister/best friend. I would be polite to her at home during school breaks, but kept her at arm's length. Anyway, I don't want her to be a bridesmaid, let alone maid of honor. My parents thought it'd be a good compromise to just have her be a regular bridesmaid. Absolutely not. My big from my sorority will be my maid of honor, and my fellow littles who had the same big will be my bridesmaids. I reluctantly said she could be a guest at the wedding, but not a bridesmaid. If it were entirely up to me, I wouldn't invite her at all, but that would cause more drama in my family than it's worth. I told them, but what would other people think if she was seen with me? She cried. She never apologized. She just thinks that because it was long ago, I should let bygones be bygones because she was young and immature. Absolutely not. And my parents agree with her? Hell to the no. That is traumatizing. To have your own sister behave that way, it's one thing for a friend to behave that way, but like someone that's in your own family? Hell no. I have failed you. I had to be in therapy for years because of her. Why should I have someone as a bridesmaid who thinks they're better than me? Am I the a-hole? Well, the answer is you absolutely shouldn't. It sounds like she's not sorry. It sounds like she never really thought it was that big of a deal. But then if she didn't think it was that big of a deal, then why did she pretend to not know who you were or to ignore you or to not get involved when people were picking on you? I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. Yeah, no regrets. But let's see what everybody else had to say. She never apologized. She just thinks that because it was so long ago, I should let bygones be bygones because she was young and immature and my parents agree with her. I agree that you were young and immature and you still are. If you actually felt bad about your actions, you would be sorry about the pain they caused me and you would be happy to apologize. Goodness knows there are things from my own past that I'm ashamed of that I've apologized for. If I thought any of my prior actions were still causing someone pain, I would do my best to make it right. You disagree. That's fine. You're an adult and you can make your own decisions, but that means we don't share the same values. And if we don't share basic values, why would you even want to be my bridesmaid? It's like, yeah, why does she want to be involved now suddenly in your life? I thought you were embarrassed of her, huh?
Well, look who's come crawling back.
How do you think you can be supportive to me in my future life if we can't agree on the basics? Regardless, I'm done having this conversation. You are not close enough to me to be a bridesmaid. Anyone who knows us will not be surprised by this. Anyone who's surprised by this doesn't know us well enough that we should care about their opinion. Not the a-hole. The people standing next to you on your special day should be the people you feel supported by. Yeah. I definitely struggle with the idea of forgiveness because after a certain point, it's like you can forgive people, but you should definitely not forget. Forgiveness does not mean being besties with a person that hurt you. It just means letting go, grieving that relationship, and moving on. If you forgive everyone and just act like everything is fine, that person's never gonna learn from their mistakes. Just add that at least you're not offering her $100 to stay home like she did on your 16th. Oh my God, you should have. Here's $100, just don't come. Reddit has dubbed this person not the a-hole. I know a lot of us in here struggle with bridesmaids and maid of honors not stepping up as much as we'd like them to, and it sucks. My maid of honor has made a bunch of excuses not to come to either of my wedding dress consultations. When I asked her if she wants to FaceTime in, she told me she will be napping because she has to get up early that morning. It's at 1 p.m. Oh my God. Somebody doesn't want to be your maid of honor. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm reaching to the end of my rope with her, and I need to find a nice way to tell her that if she doesn't want to make any effort to participate, then I don't want her to be my wedding. Period. This bride is not being entitled. If you agree to be someone's maid of honor, these are kind of the things that come with it. And if you don't want to show up, you should step aside for someone who does care. Does anyone have a way to word this that isn't as rude as it sounds in my head? It's not rude. You're expressing a boundary. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what way you say it. She's probably going to get defensive no matter how nice you are. I don't want to lose her as a friend, but at the same time, if she was really my friend, then she would care about my wedding at least a little bit. Then you're not losing a friend, babe. All right, we got a response. My initial response was to truthfully let her know how unsupported you feel. Yeah, that could work. Now that I know she's a new mom, I'm going to say you should give her some grace. Okay. Motherhood is hard. You're experiencing a major life change, and so is she. There's no doubt she needs as much support as she can get right now. Who knows what she's experiencing in her world? I don't know. That whole nap thing, though, that was like, I'm sorry, I can't come. I'm napping because I need to get up early the next day. I'm sorry. No. That's like the weirdest excuse I've ever heard. That doesn't make any sense.
That was the best nap you ever had.
Maybe ask her if she's doing okay to see if there's ways you can help her so that she can participate. Support in a relationship should be mutual. Okay, you're a lot nicer than I would have been. There also needs to be communication on the part of your maid of honor. And if she's not up to the job, then she needs to say that. But if you really want to be the bigger person, I guess you could go with this. I've been texting her daily, offering her help or support. She had some PPA and I encouraged her to go talk to her doctor about it. I feel like I've been attentive to her situation, and it sucks she's not as involved in my life in return. Getting married and having a baby are of equal importance in my opinion. It's not like I'm planning a party. You are, kind of. Listen, you're probably not going to be besties anymore, and I agree that everybody goes through life changes. However, that excuse was really dumb. I don't agree with it, and personally, I think that you could probably find someone who is a little more committed to the job. Plus, if you don't tell her, then she's never going to know that what she's doing is hurting your feelings. This bride who wasn't celebrating their maid of honor's pregnancy. Seeking advice and opinions on whether I'm being unfair in this situation, please. I just found out a week ago that my maid of honor is pregnant. We've been best friends for over 15 years and each other's wedding days are very important to us. I was her maid of honor a number of years ago and we went to the degree to ensure her day was everything she imagined. We decided to postpone our wedding from January to September of this year, and her newborn will be about 2 weeks old on the day. She already knew our new date for later this year when she got pregnant. And I'm having a really hard time moving past this. I feel betrayed instead of happy for your friend. Okay. And as though she hasn't considered how this will impact my day. I'm sorry. Are we gonna like shame someone for getting pregnant? You know that like those types of things you can't necessarily control, right?
Try harder.
Imagine if all brides expected the bridesmaids to just like not engage in romantic activity. You must abstain. If you do not care about me. I keep thinking of all the things that could go wrong with a newborn, and I don't want her to miss out on an important aspect of the day because of it. Happy to clarify some other details to help understand the situation better. Advice and opinions welcome, though please be kind. I'm trying my best to be understanding of it all. I think the main issue is that you don't really seem very happy for your friend. Like the way that you're making it about you. Everyone else's lives do not stop because you're getting married.
That's outrageous.
That is my opinion. I'm not really sure what you expected her to do. Am I the a-hole for ditching my friend's wedding after she removed me as a bridesmaid and wanted me to sub for the photographer? I was set to be a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding. She has 5 bridesmaids in total, including me. I'm 6'1" and my nickname has always been Big Bird. I have a Nikon DSLR and I've always liked to casually take pictures for my social media. Day of the wedding, the paid photographer Jenny was on site at Deidre's massive church, but was sick. She said she'd eaten something that didn't agree with her, that she could power through and she'd done COVID tests so it wasn't that, but ultimately she had to leave. Deidre asked me to walk around the perimeter of the church to make sure that the entrances were all labeled and that no one was lost. So I did that in my dress and tennis shoes. By the time I got back into the bridal suite, it was nearly time to head into the foyer. As I walked in, everyone was quiet and staring at me. Deidre's fiance's sister Ashley, who hadn't been sure if she could make the wedding, was there as well. Deidre said that since Jenny was gone, they didn't have a wedding photographer. She wanted me to give my bridesmaid's dress to Ashley and take photos with my Nikon? I'm sorry, I'm demoting you to the help. Everyone swarmed me and started helping me out of my dress, pulling the rhinestone combs out of my hair. Whoa, whoa. This is like, you know that scene from Cinderella when like the evil stepsisters are like ripping off her dress? That's what this seems like to me. Deidre took back the bridesmaid gift of the matching Tiffany bracelets we were wearing during the wedding to put on Ashley. Everyone said this was a much better plan and started hyping up my photography skills. This is when you leave and never talk to them again. They were also saying this would be great because the wedding party would look uniform now. Oh, great. Big Bird. Honestly, after hearing that name, it sounds like they think that you're like this like awkward, gigantic woman. It's their way of secretly bullying you. Honestly, like that's how I feel about it. Who wants their nickname to be Big Bird? As a tall girl,
a man of culture,
I would remove myself from any situation where people called me Big Bird. The moms were saying it would be great to include all the family girls as bridesmaid. Okay, so then get her a dress and make her a bridesmaid. Don't give her your dress. Deidre said that I would be able to eat after everyone else. Oh, great. Thank you so much. And she wasn't sure where Ashley had been sitting for dinner, but it would matter because I wouldn't need to sit down anyway. Oh my God. This is like one of the most effed up stories I've ever read. This was all really rushed and I didn't have time to think, but I was immediately pretty hurt by the demand that I'd be responsible for not only the wedding photography for free, but that everyone was implying that I make pictures look weird if I was in them, and that I'd be okay with not having a seat at all or the chance to eat. I told Deidre that I wasn't a professional photographer and I didn't know what I was doing, but she kept saying, "You'll do great and I'm sure it'll be good." While everyone continued to get ready, I packed up all my stuff, said that I had to take it out to my car, then drove home. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not. You should never speak to any of these people ever again. And if I find out that you talk to them again,
I'll kick your butt.
This is so messed up. I am like traumatized from this story. No words. Let's find out if anyone in the comments has any ideas. Obviously not the a-hole, but like, let's listen. Not the a-hole. You were literally uninvited to the wedding and forced to be an unpaid employee instead. The description of them helping you out of your dress brings to mind the scene in Disney Cinderella. I hope it didn't feel like that when they did that to you. That was horrible. This is another reason why I don't take photos anymore, because every time I do, I feel like I'm the help. You're not the a-hole, my dear. And screw them. Plus, Big Bird is cute. Subscribe!